The vaccine mandate story is a big story. I mean, right now, while I'm filming this, the firemen are all protesting out in front of Gracie Mansion in Manhattan.
Or we're having a rally so that our voices can be heard, so we can let the mayor know that we're concerned about what's going to happen to us, concerned that our members are going to be forced out of work by the mayor, but we're also concerned about what's going to happen in the city.
The vaccine mandate story that we were working on yesterday, the part that I was working on in the morning, I needed a source inside the FDNY that could tell me exactly what were the protocols that they were being given, what were they being told was going to happen. I was able to talk to my sources in the FDNY, and they gave me the sheet. They basically told me exactly what was being handed down, that, if they couldn't provide proof by 5 o'clock on Friday that they were going on basically unpaid leave. After 30 days of being on an unpaid leave, they were going to have to turn in their shield and their ID card and all these things that we knew nothing about. And the only way we were going to find out about them before and if the city ever told us about them was through the fire department, through sources that we've developed as reporters. And for those of you who have never reported on stories in New York City, it's not easy to get firemen or cops to talk about what's going on inside their department. These departments have all developed their own press agencies. It's like trying to go through a PR agency. Anything you do want to know, that's the stuff that they don't want to tell you. They basically drill it into every new recruit that you don't talk to the press. If there's a question from the press, you refer that press person to DCPI. They have protocols. They've set it up for this purpose, to block you from access. So developing these sources is crucial and very difficult. The first time I developed a source inside the police department, I was working on a job locally here in Flushing. Somebody had set a building on fire and there was a bunch of people dead in an apartment, and we knew nothing else other than that. So I took the liberty of walking over to where some of the tenants were standing in front of the building. I saw one man that I was really interested in. I walked over to him and I asked him, do you know who the person is who lives in the apartment? And I was pointing at the fire, and he said yes. He knew everything. He knew everything we needed to know. He knew the name of the person who set the fire, the name of the person who killed everybody. And I stood there and I took down everything he said. I asked him, have you told the police about this? Because they were right there, they're trying to figure out what's going on. And he said, I tried to talk to the police and they just kept yelling at me, get behind the line, get behind the line. They won't talk to me. So I said, okay. I took him by the elbow and I walked him over to the police tape. And I said, detective. One of the detectives turned around. He said, who are you? I said, I'm a pain in the ass reporter. You don't want to talk to me, but you do want to talk to this guy because he knows the family, he knows the victims, he knows the perp, he knows everything about what's going on in there. You got to hear this. So he said, okay. And he waves the guy under the tape, and he goes and he talks to the detective for a few minutes. I was typing that up and sending it in on my phone. And that detective that I called over walked right up to me and said, can you follow me for a minute? And he walked me into a nearby alleyway, which I got to be honest, I was scared. I didn't know what the heck he was going to do, but it was pretty intimidating. When I walked back there, he was just standing there and he handed me a business card. And he said, that was good looking out. If there's anything I can do, you just let me know. And before he even walked away, I said, yeah, there is something you can do. I said, I need to know what it looks like in that apartment. I need to know exactly what you found there. He kind of chuckled. He was like, well, that was quick. Okay. He basically described exactly what the interior looked like. And he described everything that they knew up until the point that I brought the witness to him. I think reporters, the part that they get wrong, or the part that they don't really understand, is they think that they immediately have to strike up some kind of friendship or pal around with the guys in order to get into their good graces. I don't think that's it at all. I think what you have to do is do your job as well as you can, and be of some use to people who are trying to do theirs, like the policeman who was trying to solve a murder, or the fire marshal who's trying to figure out who started this thing. Anything you can do to help them do their job, they'll turn around and help you do your job. At the same time, you cannot give away any of your journalistic integrity in developing these relationships. With cooperation, esprit de corps, with good faith, and a good track record of doing good work, you'll develop these sources and it'll help you report on big stories like on this vaccine mandate story we're reporting.